All right. We're going to start with art poems. So all that information from the last lesson where we looked at some art prints. We're going to now think about. You're going to think about one of those and try to make a poem about it using, thinking about your pillars of poetry. Remember, do you want the music? You want emotion or imagery? Maybe some. So really, on this artistic poems, art really inspires poetry. So let me just, oops, I got. So you got to have an art piece, and then you're going to write, but you have to have that imagination. You got to look at art with the eyes of a poet. So, for instance, if you're looking at this one, we looked at this yesterday, like the Lion King one. Asher wrote The King of the Desert. He said, I'm just going to write a poem. This one inspired me. I'm going to look through it. Here's my art print. I'm going to write about it, and I'm going to have an imagination. He says, looking into the eyes of the king, supposedly seeing everything, chin up, staring far away, but all alone. Wishing somebody was there to say, how did that lion get so far away from a jungle? The king of the desert, all alone, seeing everything. A blue horizon on the line, and a streaming sun is all he has. King of the desert. Julia Saxman loved the crying girl one and put she thought she was crying mustard. So because of the yellow right here, so in their hair, so it's like the girl who cried mustard. And if you see, she did like a concrete poem or a shape poem with the crying part. Crying girl with her hair as yellow as her tear. She looks like she's crying mustard or butter. How silly, but also how sad. And again, this one here, I'm looking forward to anybody who could do like the one about the snake and the asteroid coming down. We haven't had one for that. Lawrence here looked at this one and said, "Oh my God, look, they're going this way, that way," and she wrote one called "When Black and White Cross." This is what happens when black and white cross. Gray makes the center, warming the rest. With such chaos that birds leave their nest. White goes to black, black goes to white. Everything's scattered. Everybody scream, scaring kids to drop their ice cream. Now people in both towns don't have a different way. Now all left is a town with shades of gray. This is what happens when black and white cross a nice circular poem. And then the one with the Civil War ending. So Megan Gagnon wrote The Friendship Carriage. The Friendship Carriage brings folks together like James, Johnny, Kate, and Heather. A little bit of music there. Nice white space. It happened one day when the school was released. The children went out all feeling relieved. When they found the carriage, they all said, wee hee. They played so long that Kate scraped her knee. The sun in the west is slipping to orange red. Tomorrow will return. More friends like Mary and Jed. The friendship carriage brings folks together. Nice circular poem again. And this one here inspired Ryan Obradovich, Drifting Away. They are like a field of asteroids floating away in the night sky, like pieces of rock all rough and bumpy, white, gray, silver, any color. Moving through the galaxy can end up anywhere. They're like a field of asteroids. Again, a nice circular poem. So you can do one on the dog, the paranormal cube. I think Paige Gruner wrote this one. Some say they see a spirit. Some say it's the cube between another world. Ha! Most say it watches you. But stay away from the paranormal cube at night because no one knows what will happen to you. Some go missing, never to be found. Some fall to the other side. Paranormal cube. A little spooky. And stroke of the brush. by Ian. With the smooth sound of the stroke of the brush, it takes all of your thoughts away. It whispers a comforting sound, a swoosh. Nice onomatopoeia there. It is as soft as a pillow, simile, stuffed with whipped cream. The strokes of the brush is my favorite sound of them all. Evil Alice by Anna Louisa. Evil Alice looking at you with purple eyes, wearing a beautiful blue dress. Creepy, creepy. Scary mad? Did she do something bad? Creepy, creepy. She's a predator stalking her prey. Creepy, creepy. She torments me. She's like the ruler of the bench. Run! Evil Alice. All right, so some of the things that these authors did, they looked at poems and then they used their imagination and then they wrote down and using some tricks for they call authorcraft. Some will use alliteration. Okay, that's repeating sounds with this, like Sally sells seashells at the seashore. Sing a song of sixpence. It's the same kind of sound repeated. A meter is like a rhythm of it, is like the music. Onomatopoeia is sound words like splash, bang, pitter patter, tick tock. Personification we went over a couple lessons ago, and that's giving things that aren't human, like animals or ideas, human traits, like the wind stood up and gave a shout. Repetition, just like on Evil Alice, evil, evil. She repeated words over and over. Rhyme, twinkle, sprinkle. Um, that like it becomes less important over time. Like more mature poems will have a little bit, but not too much. The rhythm, again, that's when you put a little bit of pause and stress into how you read it. So white space and similes, comparing two things with like or as. So my love is like a red, red rose. So these are some author craft that they're going to want they put in there, and that makes a great poem. It makes up the person hearing it uh, kind of feel or looks for one of those pillars of poetry, can understand what you're doing. So think about the three pillars of poetry when you do yours. And when you're going to be able to do is go through, there's a whole list of poems that are going to be attached like on, there's going to be where there's like a photo doc that you can go into and look at some to see. You could also look at Milwaukee Art Museum paintings, put the paintings, otherwise you're going to get a lot of the uh, you're going to just get a lot of the building itself. But there's a lot of different ones that we didn't even show you, and here's some kids in the past, so that have went there. So we usually go there, and this year we were about to go there and just couldn't. So I thought I'd bring it to you in a virtual way. All right. Well, attach your poem right to this one, and put. You can write, do a Google drawing and type right over it. You can type right next to it, whatever you want to do.